Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. WWE released several superstars from its roster ahead of the May 2, 2025 episode of Friday Night SmackDown. The restructuring came shortly after the company brought Rusev and Aleister Black back on board, along with new signings like Penta and Rey Fenix. Here is a list of 3 more free agents Triple H and his team can sign following the latest slashing of its talent pool. Born Saraya Beavis, the 32-year-old wrestler worked in the company as Paige from 2011 to 2022. She had retired from pro wrestling back in April 2018, owing to a neck injury when she was just 25. However, she made a comeback after her recovery. She later moved to AEW, where she wrestled as Saraya, before exiting the Tony Khan-led promotion in February 2025. The former 2-time Divas champion is one of the top free agents right now, who has indicated that she could work with the company again. In a recent interview with the Before the Bell podcast, Paige said that she would like to team up with Rhea Ripley. She also noted that she would like to take on several other prominent wrestlers of the company. If there's another star other than Cody Rhodes who made a gigantic name for himself after leaving WWE, it is undoubtedly Matt Cardona. Known in the Stanford-based promotion as Zack Ryder, he wrestled for the company from 2006 to 2020, winning the United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship once each. However, his career was rather underwhelming, and he seemed to be permanently locked in the mid-card. Right now, Matt Cardona is one of the biggest indie names and is the reigning WSW World Heavyweight Champion in his 3rd reign. Regardless, he still loves the Stanford-based promotion, and while speaking in an interview with Sports Illustrated's Fernando Quiles Jr., he said that he wants to retire in the company. Alex Hammerstone is signed to Major League Wrestling and is a former MLW World Heavyweight Champion. Notably, WrestleVotes recently stated on Sportskeeda WrestleBinge podcast that the Stanford-based promotion is interested in recruiting the 34-year-old wrestler. While Hammerstone hasn't worked with the company, he made a couple of appearances in September 2024 as part of TNA's collaboration with World Wrestling Entertainment. He was nominated by Tony D'Angelo to face the then NXT North American champion Oba Femi. Hammerstone lost the match. However, he returned next week to register a win against Tommy D via countout. It would be interesting to see if Triple H and his team acquire new wrestlers or re-sign former superstars for the company in the coming weeks. The landscape of WWE has dramatically shifted in recent years, especially with the latest round of releases and talent cuts that shook the company. As Triple H assumes the reins of WWE's creative direction, a fresh wave of possibilities emerges. The roster is undoubtedly full of world-class talent, but the recent cuts also mean that there are opportunities to bring in new faces who could significantly impact WWE's product. Triple H is no stranger to making bold moves when it comes to talent acquisition, and with his eyes now on the long-term growth and enhancement of WWE, signing free agents could be a key way to revitalize the product. While the WWE roster is already packed with superstars, some former talent, recent NXT standouts, and veteran performers could be exactly what the company needs to maintain its relevance in an evolving wrestling industry. Miro, the former Rusev, is a powerhouse talent whose potential was often underutilized in WWE, despite his obvious charisma and in-ring ability. He was released by WWE in April 2020, and since then, he has flourished in AEW, where he has held the TNT Championship and continued to develop his character as the Redeemer. However, with AEW's packed roster and Miro's desire to reach the top of the mountain, his tenure in AEW could be coming to an end. If Triple H can get Miro back, he could become one of WWE's top attractions. Under Triple H's leadership, WWE has embraced a more varied approach to character development and storytelling. Miro could return as a top-tier monster heel, a character who is not only physically dominant but deeply involved in compelling storylines. His Redeemer gimmick has significant potential to be translated into a more nuanced version on WWE programming, where his motivations can evolve over time. Roman Reigns. Miro versus Reigns could be a blockbuster feud. Both men have the physical presence and charisma to make this rivalry feel larger than life. The clash between the head of the table and the Redeemer would be a compelling contrast in character, and their matches would certainly feel like a massive spectacle. Drew McIntyre. Miro versus McIntyre is another potential heavyweight clash that could elevate WWE's main event scene. Both are hard-hitting, intense competitors, and their feud could deliver some truly memorable moments. Bobby Lashley and Miro would tear it down in the ring. Their battle would pit two of the strongest men in WWE against each other in a battle of brute force. Whether they are allies or enemies, the dynamic between the two could be explosive. Miro's return would bolster WWE's mid-card and upper mid-card with an international flair and a monster heel character capable of carrying championships. His mic skills, intense in-ring style, and engaging character work would add a fresh dynamic to WWE's already stacked roster. Plus, his massive fan base, especially from his days as Rusev, would help generate excitement and buzz around his redebut. Johnny Gargano is one of the most highly acclaimed wrestlers of the modern era. After his success in NXT, where he helped define the brand's developmental ethos, Gargano was among the most anticipated free agents after his departure from WWE in late 2021. Despite a brief stint in AEW, Gargano's time away from WWE has been marked by the uncertainty surrounding his next move. However, under Triple H's regime, Gargano could return to NXT's roots, where he was one of the most beloved stars of the Black and Gold era. Triple H's vision for WWE's future seems to align with the kind of work rate and storytelling-focused wrestling that Gargano excels at. Gargano has an underdog persona, which can be translated into a story that resonates with the audience. He has the ability to thrive in both singles and tag team competition, and his exceptional in-ring skills can elevate almost anyone he works with. Seth Rollins. Rollins and Gargano could have a match for the ages, with Rollins' high-flying and technical prowess pairing perfectly with Gargano's resilience and ground-based strategy. Their chemistry could produce some of the most thrilling matches WWE fans have seen in years. Austin Theory. A feud between Gargano and his former NXT rival Theory would have layers, with Gargano being the veteran and Theory the brash, arrogant up-and-comer. The contrast in their personalities would make for compelling television. Tommaso Ciampa. Gargano and Ciampa's rivalry is one of the most iconic in NXT history. A reunion or rekindling of their feud on WWE's main roster could be an emotional journey for fans, with Gargano trying to prove himself after years of torment at the hands of Ciampa. Gargano's return would add a versatile, technically gifted performer to WWE's roster, and his ability to tell compelling, emotional stories would elevate any segment. Whether he's chasing championships or putting on show-stealing matches in the mid-card, Gargano's return could fill a much-needed gap in WWE's roster for a highly skilled, fan-favorite wrestler who can deliver consistently in the ring. Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks, is one of the most talented wrestlers of her generation. After a public and controversial departure from WWE in 2022, Moné transitioned to NJPO and other independent promotions, quickly becoming a major international star. Moné's potential return to WWE would create one of the most buzzworthy moments in wrestling history, and her arrival could add much-needed depth to the women's division. With Triple H in charge, the women's division has flourished more than ever before. Moné would be an ideal fit to headline the division, bringing a fresh matchup for Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Bianca Belair. Her skills on the mic and her in-ring work would contribute to the continued elevation of the women's division, and her return would reinvigorate storylines that have become stale. Bianca Belair. Moné and Belair would be a dream feud that could headline major pay-per-views. Their contrasting styles and personalities would create a compelling storyline that could elevate both women to new heights. Becky Lynch. A rivalry between Moné and Lynch has the potential to be the biggest women's feud WWE has seen in years. Both are top-tier talents, and their back and forth would be electric, capturing the imagination of fans worldwide. Charlotte Flair. Moné versus Flair is a high-profile matchup that would garner major attention. The two women share a legacy of excellence in WWE, and their chemistry in the ring could produce instant classics. Mona's star power, drawing ability, and immense talent would make her a centerpiece of WWE's women's division. Her inclusion would not only boost ratings but also elevate the overall quality of WWE's programming. With her unique blend of charisma, athleticism, and storytelling, Mona would be a key figure in keeping WWE at the forefront of women's wrestling. Triple H has an eye for talent and a unique understanding of what WWE needs to remain on top of the wrestling world. The free agent signings of Miro, Johnny Gargano, and Mercedes Moné would bring a combination of star power, in-ring expertise, and compelling storylines to the company. With each performer having a distinct appeal and a proven track record, these signings could provide WWE with the necessary firepower to dominate in both the short and long term. As WWE continues to evolve under Triple H's leadership, these free agent signings would not only enhance the roster, but also reinvigorate the promotion's storytelling and in-ring action. Fans can only hope that these dream signings come to fruition, as they would undoubtedly be the catalyst for the next era of WWE's dominance.